Hello, welcome to CoderInMe, and today we will talk about map. Map is a collection, as you know that collection is a set of related objects, related items, related elements, as you all know that. In that collection, we have more types like you can say array, list, map, or set. uh, because we are talking about Salesforce. So in the Salesforce, suppose we have three types of collections like list, set, and map. You all know about that. List is very popular for Salesforce, but for in a developer console or for a developer mind, the map is very much important. List is popular because everything is fetched, everything is uh, executed after the query, after the SOSL, after the SOQL, or after the trigger.new, trigger.old. Anything is used in list. Anything is assigned or stored in a list. We also use set, and then we also use map. So first of all, we will define that what is list or what is set. So list is a collection of elements in an ordered way, like an array. In an ordered way, this means at the first index the value will be this, at the second index the value will be this, and the third index the value will be this. It can store the duplicate value also, but the set is just a different thing. It is of unordered elements, set of unordered elements. So we can say that we can search anything from anywhere in the set. But if you want to take fourth element in the list, we have to go from first, second, and third, and fourth. But for set, if we know the ID, if we know the name, if we know the value, we can search it from anywhere. So first of all, we will show that how the list and set will work, and I will show it in the trigger. So this is developer console. I have created the name CoderInMe, and the object is accounts. So suppose this is the trigger, it will work on before insert. So first of all, if you want to use list, so we can do it account, because it's a list, so we will give it list of account, that is AC, and in the trigger.new value, all value will be in the account. So we can see it that okay, the account is working. We can use it also in the anonymous window, that is used by list account AC. So this means we can say that in this account there is a value. We can say it like okay, this is a SOQL query, select ID from account, limit 100. This means in the all the 100 value will be there. So we can check it, system.debug AC is AC. So we can check it after the execution, it will give the value. So the AC, the value is row is 5, because we have in my developer account only 5 element is there. So in this account only 5 account will be inserted, or we can see it in the debug value. So the list is the same thing. So from the trigger.new we also use list account. So in the trigger value list account is used. So suppose that if you want to use set, we will use set element also, set account AC set. So new, you can know that how we will use the object type things, set account, it's an initiation. We can use for we can use AC set dot add all method. We can use here also. There's a very good thing in the developer console that we can use set dot. So it gives the very much method for everything that's in the list. We can use the method add. Using this method we can use one element. If you want to add everything, so we will use add all from the list or from the set. You can use clear for the cleaning of that. You can use clone, so it will create a new value. The contain is always used for searching. Contains all is used for the whole list of values. Then it is equal, that it will give us a new object or new data. It will give us true or false value. Hash code, it will give us set data for that integers, and we can check that it is empty or not. We can use iterator, remove all, set, and everything like that. We can also use size. So they are all the method for sets. So suppose we are using add all for list. So in the list we will use AC. So in this AC set, there's AC. We can also use this method. This is AC is the list, so we can use add all, clear, declone, boolean. The methods are used for iterator, list, remove, set, and size. Size is always used. AC dot size is always used for checking that it is null or empty or not. So that was all about set and list in the Salesforce. Now we will discuss about map. Map is a key value pair. You can say that it is the map key, and it is the value. So we can, if we know that key value, we can use the value. If we know that key value, we can use the value map. And always remember, we can use anything in the key and anything in the value. The key can be ID, the key can be string, the key can be list of IDs, the key can be list of key can be object, the key can be list of objects. So we can do anything with the map. So don't uh, confuse with that. We can use map ID comma the new object that like count. So it will give the key value like new map, and that value is there. We can use this. So we just have to give the name for map to become the map. AC map. So AC map is the map. So AC map has many methods like AC map dot clear, clone, contains key, declone, equals, gets object type put, and it is a very good method which is used AC map dot. So if you want to use this map, if you want to store the value in map, we will use a list that is account A from AC. AC is the list, so we can use this. And in this loop we can put AC map dot put, and in this value key is A dot ID, and the value is A. So in the AC map there is everything, every account is in this map. The map name is wrong, so that's not a problem. You can search it. In the developer console you always can see that okay, that's the value, that's the error, that's everything. Just AC map, that's a map. So now map has the value. From first side all the IDs of account, and the second side related ID has something. So if you want to use AC map dot, we can use key set. So key set will give the all the IDs of all 5 accounts, and AC map dot get will give the value for that account. So if you know any ID, like okay, this is the ID for something, so this will give us the value for this ID for account. So the get method is always used for the value for that. This is the key, so if we will give the key, it will give the account. So map is used. As I was saying, like that I was saying, uh, that we can use a new map, and we can use account here, we can use list of contact there, we can use anything. So we can also use this type of map, so we can use anything in the ID and anything in the list. Map is very much popular. Why it is popular? Because we always want to use optimized code. Salesforce has a very much governing limits. Salesforce is always uh, is a multi-tenant, it's based on cloud, so Salesforce always enforce a governor limit. We have to follow that, just like that. We can only insert only 150 DML operation, or we can use this thing only once or twice or third time. So we always want to bulkify our trigger. We always want to use sharp code or optimized codes for our trigger. We can use lead, we can use list, but list is not good, because we always we always use get used of it. We always we cannot make optimized code. uh, I have some example for that. For example, I have one query. In that query, I have what I have used, that suppose I have a query, and as I have asked in my question that write a trigger for every time a lead is created, an account will be created or updated on the basis of email. This means if the lead's email is any existing point, if the lead email is in any existing account email, then a trigger will update the account name to lead's last name. And if the lead's email does not belong to any account, then the new account should be created with the same name as lead name and email as lead's email. So we have to create or update account file related to this. We can use a list for that query, what I did account, and that I just use a list, account list. I use a data also, that in this I am using email, so I have stored every email in this ll.add. You can see here, you can see here in this loop, sorry, so sorry, in this for loop lead l trigger.new. So because it this trigger is working on lead, any lead is inserting or creating, we use a trigger.new lead l. This means every value will be stored in that ll is a string, so we have stored email of all the lead that is inserting in the trigger.new. Now what we did, we are asking, we are using a scope ql query from account, that if that email is in the account or not. So what we use select name email from account, where email c in. Why we are using in because of that there is a list ll. So if any email is in account, we have to find this ac list. So in the ac list, all the list of all the account which has leads email, that will be stored. So now we are checking ac list dot size. We always have to use dot size method to check everything, because it can give us null value. So null value is not good for us, as you know. So we will lead l. Now we are now, because we are using lead, because we are using list, so we have to use only again trigger.new, and then we are searching that lead email and account email is same, so we will update it, or if it is not same, then we will create it. So the loop is again loop, nested loop, and if the trigger.new size is 7 into 3, that is 21 time it will be. So it's a very hard, or it's a very lengthy question, lengthy. It is not optimized using list. So now here I am using, sorry, I am using email account, that is I have used what I did the same thing, that okay, the string is there, email set, there's all the emails that is used from lead. Now we have created an email map in this id, and in this field I just did what I did, I just stored a string and account. So in the SSA list there is the same, that all the account which have lead email. So now what I'm doing, I'm just searching that for every account list, email and the account will be there. So id is the email and the account is, and the value is the key is the email and the value is the account value. So in the email map there is a email and there's account, email and account, email and account. Now what we will do, we will just use a get function, or contains function is used to search that okay, that email is there or not, the contains will give the value. So here only one loop is there, if for lead trigger dot new, if email map dot size is 0, obviously, uh, because if there is any account it will give us email map size. So then we will check that okay, any email map contains any email of lead or not. So if it contains any email, lead email, then it will just update it or it will create it. So there is only one loop here. As you say, as you have seen, there was two loop. So in one loop what we did, we just use contains key, and the contains key was very helpful, that if any key was, we just use the key value that contains email map is, if this map is contains that email, we will just update it. So it was very helpful. I have again a new example. Suppose I want to create I want to find the how many male and female are in the contact. So I have an account, and every account has some contacts. So suppose I have 3 males and 2 females. So I have created two custom fields, gender, male and female. So if this is male or if this is female, and in the account field I have created 2 fields. In the contact field only one field, that is gender, male and female, for male and female. And in the contact field I have in the account field I have 2 fields. In the account object I have 2 fields, sorry, 2 fields, like number of females and number of females. So what I did, I just did once I did used list. So this is used of list, and I used also map. What we are using, in map we are using as a key account id, and as a value list of all the contexts related to that account. So because it will work on delete, insert and delete and update. So as you know that for delete and update we always use, for delete and update we should use we can use trigger.old, and for insert, update and undelete we always use trigger.new. So what I did, what I just asked from the contact, that every account id, please, every account id will be in this set, every account id. And how we will create trigger, because every contact has an account id, so contact.account id, this, if it has a parent account. So now what I did, I created an id for account and list of contacts for all the contact related to that account. Now we did a query, that is select id, number of males, number of females, and a nested query, that is inner query, you can say, select id, account, gender, c from contact. Always remember, we can only use one inner query, we cannot use another inner query in that loop, and we can use dot parameter only 5 times. So select id, count id, gender, c from context. So here we use here we, what we searched, we searched id, number of male, number of females, and for that account every contact which has account id. So every account has some ID, context, and we asked for gender for that context. So we put that account and that contacts, all the contacts in that map. So in that map we have now account id and the contacts. So we did one loop that is for contact and for account, and that second loop for that list of con. But please remember that list of con is very small now, because what we did, we use only that, what we did, we use only that context that have has used for that account. So only for one account, if there will be 50 contexts, only 50 will be there, so the loop will be smaller. But if we are using that question, that problem in this, there will be a problem, because the size will be, the optimization will be very costly. So what I did, I just checked for loop that gender is male, so add it. If gender is female, so don't add it. In that, add it in the from also. And for that question there is also a list. In this list version there's very much problem. I always use the same things in there also. I have also one question for that, that is for account activity checking, where we are checking for account. Thank you for watching. This is Saifullah from CoderInMe. Please like and subscribe our channel, that is CoderInMe. Please visit our site, that is CoderInMe.com.